welcome back to the Queens of the North podcast. I'm Gabby DePaula with the Drew Jones, episode 11, week 12 of the NFL this year. It's going by so fast. We have 1 full month of a regular season this year, which is absolutely nuts to think about because we started this week 1, which I'm very proud of us for doing. We've done a really good job here, and I've had fun.
I know, I've had so much fun too. It's great. I wish the Steelers would have a better season, but I think it's been nice because next season when we start next season with our podcast, and then we'll be doing really good and I'll be really happy all the time.
Also, we have to give props to ourselves because we are doing this on opposite sides of the country, completely different time zones.
Yes.
So, high five to you in California for that, because that's difficult to do. And I think that was probably our biggest hump that we had to get over, was making sure that we were on the same, that we had open time at the same time. So
right. And it's tough, middle of the day, it's middle of the day for you. Sometimes early mornings for me, middle of days for me, so thankfully we have flexible-ish schedules. I
guess we make it flexible, right?
I know, right? If you're listening, I'm on a lunch break.
Anyway, so the Colts play the Steelers on Monday Night Football. They just, came off a good game, I guess, if you want to call it that. I was pretty impressed with Kenny Pickett. He just couldn't finish.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of how I felt about the Steelers as a whole. I think one of the other issues though is time of possession. Over the weekend, I felt like the Bengals, while the Steelers were ahead in the first half and playing really well in the first half, they didn't have the ball for very long.
Right.
So the defense is out there longer. They're getting more and more tired. So I think that was a factor, down the stretch as far as being able to hold off the Bengals there at the end.
Well, the Steelers were leading the first half, right? I think they went to the first half leading, I think so they weren't doing too bad. They just lost it at the end. I think Joe Burrow, is really good at making adapting in the second half. So, he's been so hot and cold this year, but the past couple games, he's pretty much been on point. Especially because they're down a couple guys on their defense as well. And I know you guys are still trying to find what works for you. And, of course, we've said this entire season, we're not happy with how the offensive coordinator has been. Matt Canada has been playing or calling plays this year and kind of been too soft. But I did like that last drive with Kenny Pickett. They did get a touchdown, just wasn't enough.
Yeah, it felt like
pretty impressive with that.
I would say that the offense overall has improved, so it's nice to see the improvements, but there's still mistakes. Kenny was still sacked twice. Granted that sometimes that's going to happen in games. Burrow got sacked twice as well. Speaking of sacks, I got a stat for you because
you love these stats. Bring it out.
Stats. So Burrow is not the most sacked QB, although he has been sacked 32 times.
Shoo!
Who do you think is the most sacked QB in the league right now?
Right now, okay.
It's an NFC quarterback.
NFC? NFC. Give me a sec. He's not injured right now, right? He's playing.
Not injured. He's being evaluated, but he's day-to-day.
Oh, wait, sorry. Matthew Stafford.
Very close, but it's Justin Fields. He's been sacked 40 times. 40 times this year. And then Burrow is tied with Russell Wilson with 32 sacks, but Russell Wilson's played one less game than Burrow. Yeah. And then Kenny's actually only been sacked 20 times, but he's only played 7 games by comparison to the others.
So I think it's a lot it's almost 3 sacks a game.
Yeah.
So 2.5 sacks a game, I guess. Obviously you don't do half sacks when it comes to that stat, but yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
So need to build up our offensive line for sure.
For sure. I think, they know that too. They're very aware of that. I think not just for sacking, not just for playing the defense, also making holes for the run game. That's something that they really need to figure out, I think, in this off season. So, we've said it all year. They're not rebuilding. I think they're restructuring because I do like Kenny Pickett. I think he's going to be a challenge for the AFC for the next couple of years. I do see some promise there, especially him keeping up with Joe Burrow. Was Joe Burrow going to throw? Joe Burrow's a tough guy.
Man's threw for 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards. I mean, he's good.
He can do it.
Undeniable.
He threw almost 1,000 yards against the Ravens last year in 2 games. So
Right. The Browns got his number though. He's got to figure that out.
He's got to figure that out. Yeah. Hey, AFC North, it's always chippy. You guys play the Colts on Monday Night Football. You guys were scratched from Sunday Night Football this week. Monday Night Football now against the Colts. You guys almost had 2 primetime games in a row. How cool.
I know, right? Look at us. Look at us.
I don't know why, but
Brett loves the Steelers.
I'm like kind of confused. I'm like, everyone knew that the Steelers weren't going to be great this year, and then they had 2 primetime games in a row. I guess it's just how the schedule kind of fared out. But
I wonder if ratings has to do with it a little bit, because I feel like there's Steelers fans, all over the country, all over the world. So maybe they factor that.
Also, there's 3 games playing on Thanksgiving. So
right.
And those are like I think it's the Giants, Patriots are playing, Lions are obviously playing, Minnesota's playing.
I kind of hate that there's like some teams that like automatically get to play on Thanksgiving every year, and I'm like, but half the time they suck. So
it's like kind of weird because the NFL doesn't really have traditions. It feels like their only tradition is like the Super Bowl team is the first primetime game, Thursday Night Football game. That's like their only tradition, and then Thanksgiving is usually the Lions. Which I was talking to my dad. My dad's like, the Lions are playing again. I was like, Dad, the Lions have been playing on Thanksgiving for years,
for like 50 years.
And he knows this too. He's just like, I know. I just am, it's just frustrating.
And the Cowboys are one of them too, right?
Cowboys too. So yeah, I mean, 3 games on Thursday, which I do love Thanksgiving football. It's always fun.
Me too.
You guys play on Monday Night Football. You guys play against the Colts. How do you feel about that game? The Colts have a good defense. Jeff Saturday is 2-0 right now.
Well, he was very, very close to beating the Eagles, and then the Eagles came back, and it was
1-1. Yes.
Yeah. So that was interesting. I thought they were gonna win. I was gonna laugh my ass off. Excuse me. I was gonna laugh my behind off if they did do that.
So weird because that whole situation. I can't wait to find out more about that whole hiring process. But
yeah,
Colts and Steelers, both good defenses. Colts are good when they want to be good, I guess. Like whoever they start, Sam Ehlinger, Ryan. I don't know.
I think we can beat them. I think on paper we should beat them. I've noticed when I say what I think's going to happen, the opposite happens. Has been a trend this year. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, on paper we should beat the Colts, and I would like that very much. At the same time, though, I've kind of gotten into this like position this season where like I want the Steelers to win because I'm a fan and I want us to win. But if we lose, I'm not upset because then we'll have a really good draft pick. And it's been a really long time that we've had a higher draft pick because we're always like over 500, you know what I mean? So we're always kind of like middle of the pack in the first round of the draft. So this year, if we're like a lot higher up, then we'll get 3 picks, within like the first 50 picks. So it's a good opportunity for us to bolster our wide receiver core and get a new offensive lineman.
But like what we just said, like coming off the Bengals, they didn't look too bad. They just couldn't execute and couldn't finish.
Yeah.
If they played how they played against the Bengals, I mean, they have a pretty good shot at winning. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
I think Kenny Pickett gets better and better every game. I see a lot of progress with him.
He does. I don't understand the hate he gets. I really don't.
I don't either, because the Steelers have a ton of restructuring that they have to do. Offensive line, run game, offensive coordinator. They do have some guys that are still kind of injured on the defense. TJ Watt's back, but TJ Watt, I mean, he's not 100%. He's probably playing at 50% right now, 60% maybe. So seeing that, I mean, it's kind of rare to see a player get better and better every game. I will say Lamar Jackson he's heading into year 4 now. He's in year 4 now, but year 5 now. I think I'm doing the math right.
Carry the one.
Carry the one. when like Lamar Jackson got better and better every game, but you saw, I mean, he was just using his legs a lot, not quite his
Mm-hmm.
arms. Now he's able to scramble and throw at the same time. Um, but Kenny Pickett, I mean, Kenny Pickett is making those risky throws that you were saying in the beginning of the year that you wanted to see again
Mm-hmm.
that
And
last
throwing
drive.
less picks now, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like he's been a fast learner with the weapons that he has
Mm-hmm.
around him because there's still some things that are missing. Moving on, the Ravens are playing in Florida where it's warmer at
Oh
Jaguars.
yeah.
Um, they got Mark Andrews back, Rashad Bateman,
Mm-hmm.
one of their first round picks. He's out for the season because he has a Liz Frank injury. Apparently, his surgery went really well,
With
really well.
a
Sometimes when I talk too fast, it just letters get crumbled.
it's the
Um,
East Coast thing, I feel like.
yeah, maybe, I guess. I don't know, you West Coast weirdos.
We
Um,
enunciate our words.
I just talk really fast. I don't know. It's a problem that I do have. Um, Ravens at Jaguars playing Trevor Lawrence. They have 3 wins this year. Um, I mean the Ravens didn't come off a great win. I thought it was a sloppy win. Everyone's been talking about their defense up until about a couple weeks ago. Now it's okay, where's the Ravens offense?
Mm-hmm.
I think I said in the episode before this that it's in the abyss, but that I said that they were gonna kill the Panthers because that's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, same.
I think we both gave a pretty good big score with them,
Mm-hmm.
and it was 13-3. I mean, just an awful game in general. It was actually really
Yeah.
cold. I tailgated a little bit, freezing. It was
You were at the
windy.
game?
I wasn't at the game. I just tailgated.
Okay.
It's actually kind of like a common thing in Maryland. People just go to the tailgates
Nice.
and then
That's fun.
yeah, but it was so cold, so
Oh, I
windy.
bet.
Everyone knew like the Panthers are coming to town. No one really cares. Baker Mayfield may have like I think that was kind of like a thing the NFL did with uh Baker Mayfield coming back to Baltimore and playing the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe trying to sell more tickets or something. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, maybe.
Now how there's just like those weird,
The storyline.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
weird storylines. So to help make NFL more money. So Baker Mayfield came, looked like crap, looked defeated after the end of the game too. Lamar Jackson didn't look great. He didn't have a running touch or he didn't have a passing touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
He just was. Oh, I don't even. Oh, he just didn't look
Well,
good.
still no Gus Edwards too. So hopefully
No
you'll see
Gus
him coming
Edwards.
back soon.
They're hoping. I think that he plays this week. I'm okay with the run game with Kenyon Drake, Lamar Jackson. I would like to see more legs from him, obviously, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think eventually they hope to get also J.K. Dobbins back, which I don't think will happen again, maybe till the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure he's 100%. And then because then they play some easy teams towards the end of the season. They have a really easy schedule. I just hope we see some more from Lamar this week, Earn,
Yeah,
earn that money that you've been talking about. Earn
I
it.
know. Yeah,
Yeah,
you've been talking that talk.
I haven't
Lots of
seen
devil
anything.
emojis.
Yeah, the past couple like the 4 years he's been in the league, he's been great.
Right.
Talked about on almost every broadcast, whether he's playing or not. So he's obviously someone who's making waves in this league. However, I think he's just been kind of a disappointment the last couple games. I don't know. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's tough not seeing any passing touchdowns. I mean, he found Demarcus Robinson for 128 yards. So, I mean, there was movement. Obviously, he's, second in line in rushing yards. So, he's moving the ball, but yeah, there just wasn't we talked about Kenny Pickett and finishing, like there just wasn't, finishing on each drive. But
Yeah.
I felt like the game was pretty anticlimactic, but it was nice that the defense was able to, at least give the offense an opportunity so that when they were able to convert a touchdown in the fourth quarter, then it was like, all right, well, money in the bag.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Happy with the win. I guess it's a win's a win, but we got to see more
Right.
Lamar Jackson from that offense.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar didn't have a passing touchdown, which is actually really sad.
I'm wondering if this is a testament to the Panthers defense, holding the Ravens to just 3 points in the first half.
They made them pass. They stacked the box. They made them pass. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess so in a way, but it's also like, okay, Panthers are stacking the box, right? Because the Ravens are the top 3 team rushing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're forcing them to pass.
Right.
Does that mean Lamar is still not a passing quarterback? Is he not, I mean, his completion rate was 72.7%, which is pretty average in the league. He
Mm-hmm.
was 24 for 33. So with 209 yards, it's really nothing against a team that has really nothing to play for.
Right.
Oh, I mean, what does that tell you? It just making poor decisions. I think the Ravens also struggle with calling plays as well. I haven't been really happy with them. They've been a little better, haven't been great, haven't been something that I've been proud of to say. But Lamar, he's got to get better. He's got to be able to spread the ball out a little more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe I'll need a receiver as well in the draft. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they take another receiver. The Ravens are really they're big on defense, like the
Yeah.
Steelers. So a lot of their draft, I think, is going to be a lot of defense. Because we'll see. I think we might be losing a couple guys this year, including Marcus Peters, depending on what happens. I mean, he might want to stay, but take a hometown discount. Not really his hometown, not really anywhere near it, but I think he's happy here and knows that there's a lot of talent here and not a lot of drama either. So, I mean, I don't know what else more you can take.
You know what's crazy is we still haven't played, or Steelers and Ravens still haven't played each other yet.
No.
Yeah.
But the Ravens could easily lose those games because of how chippy those games get. Like there's, what I did want to point out that I was laughing at? Kenny Pickett, like you sacked that guy. He's very happy to be sacked.
Yeah.
He looks really happy all the time. I'm like, dude, RBF, RBF.
It reminds me of Aaron Rodgers a little bit. Like, oh, like nice one. He's really
Oh,
competitive.
One, bro. Like, no, dude, like that's your opponent. Like you kind of like get chippy, get a little edgy.
Well, what team were we playing? Oh, when we were playing the Bills, and Shaq Lawson, hit him a little low and he pushed him back. I was like, okay, I see you got the spice. You got the spice.
Yeah, I hope to see that next year. A little chippy. But he just seems so happy. Like you're on the ground, dude. This 300-pound dude just like knocked you over. I'm sure that hurt. Like get up, get mad, get edgy.
I would love to see another Ben Roethlisberger style bloody game. Who remembers the bloody nose game?
Yeah.
Flash photo.
Ben is so ugly.
But I love to see it. He's broken his nose like at least 3 times.
I think 2 of those times were from the Ravens.
And one was on a motorcycle going over or under a bridge in Pittsburgh.
Oh my God. No. That's just pitiful. But yeah, I hope to see more from Lamar Jackson in the passing game because it can be there. It's just not consistent. That's what I've been trying to say. It's just not consistent. So the last game against New Orleans, which I will say it was 2 weeks prior because they played that Monday Night Football game and they had the bye, but it was pretty much like a 2-week bye.
Right.
They played and he went 12 for 22 with 133 yards. They won 27-13. Played Tampa 27 for 38. 9 for 16 against Cleveland. And then 17 for 32 against the Giants. So we need to get better in the passing game for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if we want wide receivers to come here in free agency. Like,
I know a lot of Ravens fans think that you got a Super Bowl caliber defense and offense is just not there.
Which is weird because in the beginning of the year it was the complete opposite. Defense was questionable. We had a lot of our guys back that were injured last year. And then, it's kind of like, wait, this was supposed to be that Super Bowl team because everyone was going to come back healthy. But it's just the offense just like isn't, I don't want to say clicking right now. I'll give them a break because it's been 2 weeks. Shaking off some rust. I'll give them that. That's better, but we're playing the Jaguars. And then it's AFC North for the next couple games. So shake off the rust this game. But heading to the Jaguars, like I better see some kind of blowout or just more points on the board and more pass attempts, more spreading out the ball a little more.
Yeah. And you're in warmer weather, so enjoy it. But I went to the Jags facility back in, what was it, May? oh Lord. Oh, I don't know if I could ever live there. I mean, it's
It's in the middle of nowhere.
muggy. Yeah, well, it's a swamp is what it is. Jacksonville,
Yeah,
more power to everybody that enjoys living there, but it's a swamp. It's hot,
yeah.
so hot. And the air is wet.
Mhm.
And I mean, you're instantly sweating. It's almost unbearable. Like, I don't understand how they don't have like some sort of air conditioned dome situation for the fans, because it's
That's they have a pool.
unbearable.
They have a pool in their stadium. Did you see the pool? I think
I
they have
missed
a
the
pool.
pool.
I think
I
they saw
missed
a
the pool.
pool.
I will say this. I'm usually one of those people where like I like warmth. Hello, I live in California. But if I had to choose between like going to Jacksonville or going to Baltimore, I'd go to Baltimore every day because I can wear a coat. I can wear gloves, but I can't, you can't hide from the heat.
Oh, give me the heat all day long.
Really?
Love the hot. I love to sweat. Like I love it all. Yeah. That's how my whole family is. We
Then why do
love
you live in Maryland?
well, I'm working on it.
I'm trying to get out of here.
I'm working on it. Yeah. I'm
That's
working on
funny.
it. My dad is too.
Really?
We're all
Going
working
south
on
for
it.
the winter.
Yeah. My sister lives in Greenville, South Carolina. So she's on the warmer parts, I guess,
Oh,
of the
nice.
East Coast. So she was like, once her and her husband got married, she's like, I'm out.
Peace. Two
Cold.
fangas.
We don't like the cold.
I
I
hear
like the
that.
cold. If it's gonna be cold, I want it to snow. If not, I
Mm,
don't even bother.
yeah.
You know, I used to be a pretty big skier and snowboarder. I haven't snowboarded in about 2 years.
I've never been
Yeah.
in my life.
In California? Really?
I've never been. Yeah, both my parents are from Pennsylvania, and they were just like, yeah,
Pennsylvania has
nah.
some good slopes. So is this the West Coast. I've been to the West Coast to snowboard.
Yeah. Is it in
They have
Tahoe or Big
big
Bear or whatever?
mountains. I went to Mountain Bachelor in Oregon.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean there are mountains here. It's at least from right here, it's an
Yeah.
hour east. I can go skiing or snowboarding, but nobody wants to take me because nobody likes the snow.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
We'll have to make a trip one day.
Yes. And watch
Um,
football at the same time.
watch them all at the same time. Absolutely. Bengals at Titans. That could be a toss up. Titans
I
are,
know.
they kind of started off a little rough. I feel like they're kind of coming into their own. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mike Vrabel, I think he has that team. They all, I think, have tremendous respect for him. The Bengals, they're hot and cold, but I think they're starting to
Right.
kind of get the ball rolling a little bit.
And
Especially Joe Burrow.
Jamar Chase will come back at some point. So if not this week, likely next week. I'm surprised they didn't put him on IR.
Who'd you say?
A Jamar Chase.
Oh, Jamar Chase. Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep.
If
Yep.
he
Yep.
misses this week, then that'll be, I think, his fourth week out. And
Mhm.
they chose not to put him on IR. So that's an interesting decision
I guess it's a
from a
positive.
staffing standpoint.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because it's too close to the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah.
Kind of let him practice right now and just kind of
Get
coast
back
until
slowly.
they see, what kind of team they are at the end of December, what their record is, and what playoffs will look like. Browns host the Buccaneers. Browns, I mean, they've been competitive this year. I don't know what you think, but they've been pretty competitive. I haven't been, completely. I just feel like for what the cards that they've been given, they haven't really. They're not a bad team. They're losing, but they're
Hmm.
competing.
Yeah, I would say like Jacoby Brissett has certainly given the Browns an opportunity to, I mean, succeed. I mean, they beat the Bengals, so it's kind of like, I'm pretty sure they beat us too. It's like, I don't even know who we lost anymore.
Yeah,
But, what's interesting though is I'm pretty sure they're coming up on a short week, and
yeah,
then we'll see Deshaun Watson coming back.
mhm,
So I've just been like kind of ignoring them, to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I know it's just because of everything going on with Deshaun Watson, and then they're just always trying to find their identity. Even though I do like Kevin Stefanski, I think that was a good hire, and I think they should stick with Kevin for a while. I do like him. Don't like the whole Deshaun Watson thing going on. Um,
They treated Baker Mayfield like trash.
I
They might
don't
have
like
had a
him.
decent season if It's one thing if you're like, you know what, we have an opportunity to get a more skilled QB. Mind you, still hasn't played in almost 2 years now. But, you know, have the conversation with the guy. Be like, hey, would you want us to trade you? Do what they did in San Francisco. That's exactly how the Browns should have handled the quarterback situation. Hey, Jimmy, we'll try to find you a trade partner. We know you could be a starting QB somewhere, but we're going to go with Trey Lance. Oh crap, Trey Lance is out for the season. Good thing we signed you to a team-friendly deal now. Look at the Niners. That's exactly what the Browns should have done with Baker Mayfield.
Agreed. Oh, agreed. Yeah. People are talking about like Baker's done. I was just like, do you guys not recall the amount of injuries he had last year?
Tore his labrum, bunch of stuff.
A bunch of things. And we're going to go into this season thinking, you know, he's just going to be a new guy. Like, I mean, he still has growing pains with the Panthers, and I don't think he's a bad quarterback. People were talking about, I was talking to some people this week, like, Baker's done. I was like, he's not done. He might be a backup somewhere, but I don't think he's done.
They also traded away Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey. Like, he has nobody to pass it to.
Yeah, he doesn't have a ton of weapons, and I mean, the Panthers are almost like off the map. They're just
totally. You know? Again, teams that like I don't quite pay attention to.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, since like Cam Newton left, since they won the Super Bowl, like you're like, who are they?
They should have kept Cam. Another bad decision. I'm surprised he's not in the league at this point either.
Yeah, I'm over him. Ugh, whatever.
He has said some not so great things about women. So
about what?
About women.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw some of those things too. Well, you know, see ya.
Right. Well, drop us a score prediction for Ravens Jags before we wrap this thing.
Yeah. Okay. Ravens Jags. Jags are coming off a bye. I think they're going to be a little rusty. I'm going to say Ravens 30. No, Ravens 23, Jags 14.
I think Ravens got a little chip on their shoulder. The way I saw the Cowboys beat the Vikings over the weekend gave me a new perspective on the game. I'll tell you that. So I think we might see a Ravens blowout. Let's go with like 35-7.
Okay. That's a little more positive than me.
Yeah, I'm giving you positive energy here.
Who are you? Steelers predictions. What's your Steelers prediction?
On paper, we should win this game. So, but knowing them, they tend to play down to their opponents. We're still working out some kinks, this, that, and the third. So I can see it being a closer game. Maybe it'll be more like 21-17 or 14. Yeah,
I'll say 17-14. I think it'll be low scoring game. Low scoring game.
Although it's prime time, we would like some entertainment.
Correct. Primetime games have really sucked this year.
And there's no Peyton and Eli. There's no excitement. So I would love to hear some of Peyton's perspective on Kenny Pickett, but alas, I won't get it. So
one day you'll get it.
I will. Maybe next year.
We'll get it. Because I'm interested to hear what he says too. And Eli too. For the most part. So okay. I mean I think that's it. Is that it for you, Drew?
That's it for me. We came off a couple bye weeks for ourselves. We're killing the game here.
We are killing the game in the NFL game. I'm Gabby DePaul, and that's Drew Jones. That was episode 11, week 12 of the Queens of the North podcast. We'll see you next week.
Peace be with you.